MudRFunR here. Today I'm going to be replacing some brake lines. All of them actually. So if you've ever popped a brake line and you go to replace it and all the rest of the lines that are anywhere near it also look like they're in terrible condition, don't you wish that there was a cheap, affordable kit that you could just put on already pre-bent? Well, here it is. This kit is made by Dorman, and this is what my money got me right here. A complete set of stainless steel lines, 150 bucks. Can't beat that. And thank you, John at Clausen Auto Parts, for bringing this to my attention. This is going to save me a lot of work today. So this truck that I'm working on is a 04 GMC Sierra, and it's the 2500 HD with a 6.6 Duramax. I'm not doing a complete brake line replacement video, but maybe I can give you some tips and give you a look at what you're getting yourself into, and this will maybe give you an idea of whether you want to tackle this job or not. I'm not a licensed professional, I'm not a licensed mechanic, so take my advice at your own discretion. So I have them all laid out on my truck. The two on the left here are the two that go to the master cylinder, and the longer one right next to it is the one that goes to the rear over the fuel tank. The two shorter ones next to it are the two that go over the axle, and then this one here that's not in the plastic, that one there is the long one that goes to the passenger side on the front, and then the next one beside it is the other one that goes to the front, which is a lot shorter. And then of course the instructions right there. And you can see right there, stainless steel. And right here it has a nice little guide to show you which line goes where. It's pretty much self-explanatory. And then it tells you to bend these pieces straight in between those two pieces of tape. I've got one here that says to bend straight in between the tapes. And I just wanted to show you how easy this was to bend. Get it back straight again. There we are. Very simple. So I'm going to get this whole assortment put on the truck, and I'll let you know how things are going. So there's a whole cluster of brake lines that are all together right there, and you can see where it's wet, where I popped that line right there. And if you're going to be moving those other lines around there when they're all rusty like that, chances are you're going to end up having another one blow out on you. So that's why this complete kit is a wonderful thing. So I'm just underneath the truck here, and here's the transfer case, and right beside it you'll see this whole cluster of lines right here. So this little diagram represents that block underneath the truck, and this is the order that I'm taking the lines off, right there. So this is the block under the truck, and I've taken all the lines off and put some plugs in there just to keep the dirt from getting in, and I've taken some tape and numbered each line with the numbers that I used on that diagram. This way I know which one's going back on where. So what you want to do when you're replacing the lines is, the easiest way is to start with the inside one here, which is the one going to the back, and then work your way this way. Well, you probably want to be using a line wrench, and the thing is, this bracket right here prevents you from getting directly underneath the line. So it's easiest if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off, and then in the opposite order putting them back on. So whenever I purchase anything, any brake lines or anything else like that that has caps or plugs or things that I've taken apart, I always try to save these plugs and caps. You just never know when you might need something to plug something off. So I got all the connections back here where these lines go into. I've got them all cracked loose. Came off nice. And that one's off already. And I already have the bleeder screws all sprayed. And all the connections are sprayed. And I'm using double X penetrant. So for the line that goes to the passenger side at the back, you'll need a T40 so that you can get this little bracket out from behind here that the brake line's attached to. So yeah, you'll need a T40. So there's the first line off. That's the right rear. Goes over the axle. And I know the fittings are the same. The bends are not quite the same, but this could have been a replacement one. I would probably imagine it would have been already by now. So I'm going to try and fit it up there and see how everything goes. And there's a shot of the back ones. They fit in there like a dream, like they were made to. Oh yeah, they were made to. So I've already got that new line put in that goes behind the tank and up to that block. I didn't get it on video at the time, so the way I did it was through the back. And this isn't the actual line, this is a different one, but I went through here and up. You see where I'm going with it, right up and over top of the tank, like that. That's how I brought it up and over. And this wire here, it has a clip up behind here. You have to undo that clip when you put the new one in so you can get it back down underneath it here. And then from there, my line, I could see it right here, so I pushed it down underneath here and down and pushed it through here. And then from in between here, I had to get it underneath the filler tube there. And on the other side of this, there's a space to get it through. And I just kept on going that way with it and wiggling it and turning it whichever direction I had to. And I managed to get it in there. Okay, I'm on my last line here. I'm doing the front one right now. That goes over to the passenger side brake. And you got to get that line right up in between the steering box there and that brace right in between there. We got those other 3 lines just laying there. I haven't got them tightened up at either end yet. And this is the one that goes to the passenger side with the tape on it here. And I'm going to have to probably bend it a little bit to get it to go all the way through where it's supposed to, and then shape it back after I get it in place. And then I'm just going to try and get it to follow alongside of that third brake line right there. It's going to take a little bit of kinking and bending, I think, to get it through there, but I can get it all back straight again when I'm done. So this is how the front ones turned out. And there's 4 of them that come together along there. And everything went together very well. Nothing's scrubbing together anywhere. And it all looks good. And everything went very well. It took me quite a while. It's not something that just anybody should tackle. Pushing these long lines up into place was a little bit challenging, to say the least. So if you've bought the kit and you're doing a full brake line install, make sure you got lots of brake fluid on hand. I took this 1 liter jug just to fill this canister here once, and another 500 milliliters just to do the bleeding. And it's a little bit low right now, but just a touch under. So keep lots on hand. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button on this video if you like the video. Thank you. So there's the odometer on the old grill. 392,000. And gonna take it for a little test drive and see how the brakes work. Got them all bled out. They feel pretty good.